Wait, no introduction music? Man, this is a cheap production over here on Badwolf Unrestricted. What's going on, guys? It is the Bad Wolf, and once again, you guys are on Bad Wolf Unrestricted. This is we'll call it the basement channel, compared to my other one. But this one allows me to talk all that jazz, all that trash, and bring you guys entertainment. So I can talk freely, well, as much as YouTube and the government agencies will let me. We'll just keep it that way. But for all other things, legal, lawful, and freedom, your rights, go check me out on my other YouTube channel, Bad Wolf or Unlimited. All right. Um, Still getting used to being over here, slumming it, with my very few followers, but loyal. Most of you guys I know are from my main channel, so thanks. Once again, I will probably say things that you guys don't like, you don't think about. Some people will love, some people will agree. That's okay. All I tell you is to understand that, especially if I'm talking about females out there, I was raised primarily by my mother, so I do have a unique perspective being raised by all women. Okay. Um, Everything and anything I say, whether it's about girls, guys, whoever else, your dog, your neighbor, whatever it is, it's not to hurt you or to put you down, but it's to get you to think and to be better. That's all that I am based on. I'm not here to attack anybody. It just is what it is. All right. And at the end of the day, it's all about you living your life how you want to live it, but understand that I'm going to make you think. Okay. For some guys out there, they never had a father figure. I still counsel grown ass men who are millionaires. Okay. From my other channel, I've met a lot of people. All right. So whether you're a girl who's 20 years old and think you know it all, or a guy who's a millionaire or whatever else, I'm guaranteeing you I can probably enlighten you to things that in perspectives that you have not seen or thought about before. All right. So with that being said, this particular video is a somewhat controversial one, and it's fine. I've talked about this on my TikTok channel. TikTok. I use yeah. Sometimes I speak English. Um, let's get the microphone over here. I know I'm not that broke. Jesus, I mean we have microphones, right? Okay, cool. I know on my other channel, you know, I got well, actually it's the same mic from the same channel. I'm just talking. All right. So body count. Dun dun dun. Let's take a look at this. Now, I'm going to make a video about body count for guys, and then I'm going to make this one for girls. So, ladies, once again, I don't care if you're going to be in the comment section on some, well, you're wrong in this and that. Tear gone, sad no more. This is a male's perspective. Obviously, I'm not a female. So, but this is from a guy's perspective who was raised by a country woman and a well-raised sister and a hoish cousin and some other things. I've seen all of it. I know almost all of your little secrets. Ooh. All right. So this is a perspective of I'll say a healthy man. Okay. Well-rounded man. I was out there operating as an adult-sized boy for many years of my life. Um, Short version of me, though not short, um, is that, I was a nerd, couldn't get a girl to even look at me for a good chunk of my life. And then when I decided to be the bad boy, I was rather good at it. Okay. Because I also knew how to talk to women. I knew what they were looking for. And so I earned my stripes, so to speak, on a vast number of young ladies and women. Not proud of some of it, but wives and other things as well. Okay. Um, so I do have a unique perspective when it comes to this. Like I said, and just like my other channel, I'm not going to lie to you guys about any of this stuff. There's no reason to it. I'm not doing this for um just like making up stories for clicks and whatever else. It's actually to help people grow to be better, everybody to be better, from the things that I've learned, and I now see through a lot of the stuff that I didn't. So If you want this knowledge, cool, get it. If not, that's fine too. And if you're in the comments section on some, trolling, whatever else, I don't really care. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I've taken a ton of abuse on my other channel. So yeah, I've been called this, that, the other, all kind of different things from government to police to lawyers, regular people, crazy, mental, whatever. So if you're hurt and it hurts you, it means this is information is too close to the truth, and you should go heal that part of you first before trying to attack me because I don't really care. Not as far as like you're going to try to like how you feel is how you feel, and that's fine. I'm not disrespecting that. And whatever you've been through is your path, and you will learn from it. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, as far as talking about body count, now on this channel, I'm gonna name some names, okay? So, I've seen hundreds of posts on women for and against demure and slutty. I've been with demure, I've been with slutty. Um, and so body count, first of all, is a personal thing. Live how you want to live. With that being said, here is a healthy man who's been the nerd and the bad boy and now reformed, okay? Um, and how a combination of most men think this way, but that does not mean all, okay? So I'm never going to say all men, all women, all there to me there is no all. It's individual, okay? So we're going to take just generalizations of a chunk. And with this, a majority of women are not even high body count. Most of them are pretty low, actually. All right, but we're going to get into that. So I was watching, what is it, tonight's conversation, and I love Kitty. If you're out there, Miss Lady, you are always welcome on my show, even though my platform is really small compared to yours, so you probably never would do that. But you will have fire information. You are a woman, okay, Miss Lady. You are a woman. But let's first identify also some of the terms I'm going to be using. When I refer to a unhealthy male, okay, I'm talking about a male who is not a man. You can be 40, 50, 80, 100 years old and not be a man. Just because you have a dick and you can produce baby batter does not make you a man. It makes you male. Just like you can father a child and not be a dad. Those are not the same things. So some of you ladies out there have to learn the new terminology. Those are called adult sized boys. Okay. But on behalf of the men out there and males, there are also adult sized girls. So generally when I'm talking about people, and you can twist it how you want, you may not like how I phrase things, but I'm still going to give it to you, and this is what it is. So also on the tonight's conversation, there's a guy on there, and I think his name is Trip Fontaine or something like that. And that brother has a lot of good knowledge, but I definitely disagree when he answered a question about does body count matter? And I'll tell you why. He said, no, it doesn't matter. He said, it only matters to the guy who's not getting it. My brother, how far from the truth you could be. See, he answers a lot of questions very intelligently, and I don't, as somebody with an IQ of over 171, okay, so that's genius level. After all the experiences I've been through, after having not been with females and then been with females and all that jazz, let me tell you something. I don't care who likes this or doesn't like it. Body count does matter. But why? Why should it matter how many people? Remember, this episode's for towards females and why, and then we'll do one on males and why. Let me break it down because I have to use some female symbolisms to get females to understand why it matters. Now, in the old days, it definitely mattered. Matter of fact, if you were found out to have slept around, you were ostracized from your village or your nation, your clan, your tribe, because you as a female in those old days, and of course, yes, I know I'm going to get to the modern version, blah blah blah. If you got pregnant, and you didn't have to worry about STDs so much, but the big thing in those days was not providing the village or your clan or your family with another mouth to feed. So if you got pregnant and you did not have a male in those days to hunt, to protect you, and to provide food for you while you were taking care of the young ones, you starved and died in the winter. You got attacked by animals. You got attacked by roaming groups of guys out there. So, yes, when females say, oh, we don't need a man, that's today. But yet you still do. We'll get to that. So, obviously, that was a long time ago. We've modernized but how do we get to modernization? Modernization came about because good males out there, good men, decided we want things to be civilized. So the good men fought the men out there, adult sized boys, excuse me, who did not have the mental fortitude and capacity to subdue the intersexual beast. Those boys out there who still got to trick females to get some booty, who got to put things in their drinks, those are adult sized boys. And unfortunately, most females, even the ones watching this, have never experienced an actually a healthy, grown ass man to protect them, care for them, like a good father or a good uncle or a good best friend, or hell, even a good man to date. So I don't understand how a lot of these females out here can be on these talk shows and other than for clickbait and whatever else, but mental delusion is real. Mental health illness is real. Can say, well, a real man would do this. A real man would do this. If you've ever been with a real man, you already know what he's capable of doing for your life. So when I hear these adult sized girls on here chirping off on some, he needs to be 6 foot, 6 pack, 6 inches, six figures, and he'll eat my booty, and he'll let me go on vacations with any girls I want and cheat on him and come back. No, 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 no. No real man would do that. No healthy man would do that at all. Adult sized boy, and I don't care if even if he's wealthy, he can still be an adult sized boy. He would. A real man sets boundaries and protection. Now, boundaries are things where he's like, this is an absolute no for me. Men have boundaries. Just a lot of times, especially when I was a simpish young male, were very loose and laxed because I thought, oh well, I got to do whatever she says so that I can keep her. Let me tell you, when you're moving right, a woman will step up her game to be with a real man. And she'll be okay with the boundaries. If not, she's still a girl and she doesn't deserve a real man. So once again, Tripp said body count doesn't matter. So let's take a deeper look at that. Body count, if females out there are saying that their bodies are sacred, they're a temple, they're a princess, they're a queen, does the queen let the village have sex with her and take from her? She takes what she wants. Now, some people could say, well, yeah, but she is. She's taking that guy and that guy and that. Does that sound like a queen? What queen do you know? Not in all of the fairy tales, not in any of the stories have I ever seen a queen reduce herself to letting, and keep this in mind, we're going to use girl logic here and girl symbolisms and direction. But all the guys you dated were narcissists, which we know is not a fact because less than 3%, actually less than, I think 1%, yeah, less than 1 to 3% are narcissists as far as males out there. So we know it's a lie. it was some guy who set boundaries, or you dated a guy who's got adult sized boys who had asshole tendencies, but that doesn't necessarily make them, by legal and medical definition, a narcissist. So a queen is usually too busy running her queendom to be letting guys run through her while she's barely making it, and she's got two and three different baby daddies. You've not ever seen that with a queen ever. And I read ancient scrolls and books on all of this stuff. So yeah, maybe I'm a little old fashioned in some ways. Hey, you modern girls want to do whatever you want to do. I'm not saying you can't. You're not going to ever hear me say you cannot do this. Do whatever you want to do. I've seen some horrible videos out there. I'm on Facebook and I see horrible things that some females out there with mental health issues post. Just the other day, this one girl, she goes, "Oh, uh, sex on your drip drip time of the month on Halloween hits different." You put that on there for everybody to see? I had to unfollow her. That was a little bit too much. The world is becoming too much. Everybody wants the whole shock and awe value and look at me, couple clicks. Let's that doing these things for just for clicks. And don't get me wrong, I love vajayjay. Okay, you want to hear me refer to as vajayjay, fajita, punani tsunami. That's mine. Um, Nudity, I love it. But even for me, it is a bit much when I go on Instagram and girls are literally showing you their vagina. When I was growing up, they wouldn't even that they no, that was you asked for it and you were a sick pervert. Now they're showing it to you in little quick clips and spreading their it's a lot. I'm all for showing the boobs in the public. I think that should be a normal thing. Gonna be a lot of crashes. I'm gonna have to get insurance on my car. Um, but once again, so body count. Okay, so let's keep going. So if body count doesn't matter, then why are so many afraid to tell a guy? They'll be like, "Oh, it doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter." Just say it. If it doesn't matter, why are you hiding it? Oh, because of the social stigmas and oh, okay. No, well, here's the thing. Prostitutes don't hide it. It's like so many females, and not all by any means, definitely not all, but so many want to be like part-time prostitutes. Like when did being a hoe or a prostitute become cool? So you want to, I don't understand, make it make sense. If your body is a temple and you're the priestess, the queen of it, and me and my girl got into a little scat on this. I said, "You've traveled the world and you've been to religious sacred places." She goes, "Yeah." I said, "So do these sacred people let anybody touch them?" She's like, "Oh, well, Mama so and so would hug everybody." I said, "Everybody probably within her circle, not just everybody who came to the door." I said, "Did she have security?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Was it ever used?" She said, "Absolutely." I said, "Then how come, those people couldn't touch her?" Like, "Oh, well, because she's sacred." Okay. And then I said, "Well, what about the men?" She goes, "Oh, the men would never let anybody touch them." I said, "Why?" She goes, "Because they, Baba so and so would be like, no, I don't want their energy on me." There it is. Females are conditioned to be more open towards accepting of different people's energies. Guys generally want to protect their energies, but yet we do give it away sexually. Females are more accommodating, they're more open, they want to care and they want to share their energy. But what a lot of females don't realize, and some do, is that you're also receiving energy. So when you're with a male, not only are you taking his DNA from the fluidic exchange, but you're also taking on his energy. Quote me if I'm wrong, but have you females ever seen where you're around a guy for a while, you start using his words, you start moving like him, dressing like him a little bit, kind of having like his attitude. You like to argue and fight where you didn't do that before because you took on his energy. So there's more than just body counts. If you want to be with somebody, be with somebody. Do what you want to do. I'm just saying don't misunderstand that there is an exchange there. There's reasons why that was frowned upon in the old days. A lot of females, even right now today, have all these kids with different baby daddies and don't really care, and they're on EBT, and guess what's being cut off? So now, once again, almost like the old days, you've got kids that you can't take care of, and that is a very sad thing. The system is operated by males primarily, and they tricked a lot of females into body counts don't matter, do whatever you want to do. The system's here, you don't need a man. All for what? To still yet need a man. Maybe not in order to be alive, but call the cops, men show up. Your baby dad doesn't pay, police show up, drag him to court, generally, male judge. They're going to take his money, they're going to lock him up. So, how is it that you still don't need males? But understand, as males, we also need females too. We need to listen to each other. But if somebody proves that they're worthy of being listened to, you should not just give your power to anybody. But I digress. Let's get back to it. So, body count. So, if your body's a temple, why are you letting everybody into your sacred temple? If you're letting everybody into your sacred temple, it's no longer a temple. If everybody can come literally into your temple, how is it still a sacred place? If you're saying you're sacred and you're special and not anybody can just get you, but you're still letting in a lot of guys where you don't even, or ladies, and you don't even know some of these people's last names, you don't know their mental state, you ain't done no background check on them, but they can just run through you. That's not a sacred place. And real men out there like sacred places. Why do you think a lot of us play video games and whatever else? We like the adventure. We like to hunt. We like rare and sacred, beautiful, undesecrated things. So, like this one really attractive girl on a woman or a female um, on YouTube, she was like, "Well, I'm just going to keep having sex until somebody wifes me." There are some males out there, no matter what your body count, will take you as is. But the really good ones, the solid ones, the ones who aren't players, a majority of them don't want a woman or a female or a girl who's been ran through. They don't. Let's look at it another way. If you're saying you're valuable, right? Okay. Then you're like a bank. And if you're a bank, does the bank just give away money? No. The bank does a background check. It looks at all your things. It sees if you're qualified, if you can handle this. So as a female, like it blows our male minds when like you guys will like, and even as somebody who's like, man, I could have probably like 300 or 400 kids in all honesty with the number of women I've been with. It blows our minds that you guys will let us hit it raw, or if you got a boyfriend. So to the not every girl does that, obviously, because like you're literally taking a chance on saying, I really hope you don't have an STD. I really hope you don't essay me. I really hope you don't hurt me. We're generally physically stronger than you. I really hope you don't stalk me. I really hope that you don't get me pregnant. And if you do, I really hope then that you'll be a good father. I really hope then that you'll be around. I really hope then that you're financially stable. Like, as a guy, we would that 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 is a lot to ask for from somebody you met in a club or a friend, and you just doesn't even matter if he's a good guy friend, a male friend. How do you not look at all of those scenarios and think about, man, if this guy doesn't do this, I could have an STD, which will ruin my dating life, a kid, which will ruin my dating life and going out, and for the next 18 to 20 some years, I may be a single mother. In the business world, that would be a bad deal. But once again, a lot of people out there don't understand how business goes. We'll make some more videos on that. So now let's get into the deeper part of the body count issue. As a man, a healthy man, okay, not an adult sized boy like I used to be. As an adult sized boy, and I thank all of the females and women out there who have allowed me to earn my stripes with them. Um, I remember almost all of them, and I do appreciate and respect that. Um, I never lied to them. That's one thing my mom taught me when I had multiple women and whatever else. My mom always told me, do not lie. Don't be like your dad. If you're going to be with a woman or multiple women or whatever else, tell them the truth so they can make their own decision. That's what I did. A lot of my guys laughed at me like, "Oh, bro, you're going to tell her that you're that, oh, you're not going to get any." I got three times the amount of almost all of my guys and a number of them put together. Okay. So as a boy, then I still try to do the man thing by at least being honest. But I wasn't a man at that point in time. Definitely not. Um, so as a man, as a good man, when we see when we evaluate females, we usually put them in one or two categories. Hoe, good or good girl. Our brains want to smash hoes, but we want to settle down with a good girl. We want the hoes so we can, learn how to be with females and then treat that one idealistically right. Most girls value us having experience on how to treat women. So that is the catch 22. In order, but at the same time, a good girl meeting a good guy can teach each other. So we're going to get back to that point. So if I see or we see a female that lets guys run through her, she's not hard to get. She's not sacred. She's not a temple. She's not a highly prized person to be with. So we put her into the hoe category and use her, treat her as such. Some of that is her fault. Some of it's probably the fault of her mom. Some of it's a good chunk of it's the fault of her dad for not being there or being a simp or being a loser and not being a real healthy, rounded man who should have helped his daughter to learn value and to respect herself and to treat her body as an actual temple, not just say, "Oh, I'm a queen," and then go out in the streets and hoe and let everybody knock her down. Multiple partners for a female weighs on her mind. She goes through a transformation of wonder and love to, well, it's just casual. Once it becomes casual as she sees fit, she no longer bonds. Okay. The chemical releases that females go through when they have multiple males, they no longer bond easily. It takes effort for her to really be into that guy, to not want to cheat, to make that person her focus. That's why, like, for her having a baby or her first time are so important. And the fewer times she's exposing herself to the world, to the village, having a piece of her, the easier it is for her to bond, the more loyal she's going to want to be and stay, things of that nature. Now, for guys, multiple is in this society especially looked at as, well, you're accomplished. Why? Because you're a good hunter. If female are the hunted, it's like it's gold Gold is precious, but if gold is just given away, it lowers the value of gold in general. But once again, if girls were too frugal with the vajayjay, um, I think that, well, we'll say it like this: if they were, the world would be in a form of chaos if girls stopped altogether or very little. So females do have a lot of power, even though they don't realize it and they generally don't work together well. Um, but if they were more frugal, then guys would have to step up their game. See, as kids, we thought it would be great if girls were like how they are now. And this has nothing to do with actual women out there. And I'm not saying you can't change or reform, but that whole like, oh, I'm going to have a whole phase and then try to jump back into being like a healthy woman. Good luck, because once you get a taste of that danger, that thrill, and whatever else, your brain is always going to crave it. Sure, we everybody messes up here and there to some degree. It happens. These are mistakes. We learn from them. But if your normal lifestyle is based on adventure and thrill and risk taking, that's why so many girls love the bad boy. Because that was the first guy generally most of y'all were with. The bad boy made you panic and shake on the inside, made your vagina wet, and you didn't know what was happening. It was just so fast and wild, and he just took you and did it all the things. Huzzah. So now you've got this taste for a system shock of like a level 8 or level 9, and a regular guy is like a 4 or 5. So you're always going to be attracted to that spike, to have that cocaina, and then come down here to Laffy Taffy. That ain't gonna do it. You're always gonna have that itch right back here. That's why a lot of females can't break the cycle of going back to a or going to a regular dude, because regular dudes are boring when you're out there with Big Dick Rick and Chad and Tyrone and Peanut and Mookie and them and your Johns. Your your brain is then calibrated for level 8 excitement in the world sexually, and that is a powerful energy. So how can you go from that to a level 4 or 5? We also look at it as you have low discernment. You don't know how to pick well. It's funny because a lot of females out here will take an hour or two to choose a bra, panties, purses, things of that nature, but less than that time to let a man into your world, your house, your vagina, your soul. Make it make sense. If we see as a good man, you're letting guys get at you, and I've been there, I'm not going to even try to talk to you because you're letting way too many guys get at you, get on you, touch you, all that stuff. And we're thinking, if I got with you, you're still attracted to the club life. You're still attracted to those bad boys. You're still, and even if I were to get with you, I might get with you, but I'm not keeping you because once again, I'm going to put you either in the good girl category or the hoe category. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily you're a hoe because you've had a couple of guys. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there are some out there who are hoes, and there are some who are good girls, and there's some who are good women, and there's some adult size girls out there too, all in how you act. And everybody's circumstances is different. Okay. So move as you see fit. But as guys, if we see that you have low discernment, a mechanism kicks in. Oh, she looks like she's easy. Do I want to go for that? Or I'm not even thinking about making her a girlfriend or something like our wife. Good God, no. If I see that she has low discernment, she lets guys run through her. She's not sacred. She's not a hard adventure. She's not worth trying to wrap up everything. I want this, and I'm going to get out of the streets. She's not a rare adventure. Doesn't mean she doesn't still have good qualities. Doesn't mean that she may not make a good, partner or whatever else. It just means that upon what they call prima facie, meaning on first glance, you don't look like somebody who's going to make a good girlfriend or a wife. So having multiple partners for a female, I've noticed, I'm not saying all, it is for a good guy a lot of work. We now have to deal with baby daddy one, baby daddy two. And if not him, we have to deal with, or three or four, or whatever it is, we have to deal with his kids. We can't really discipline another man's kids. We can't, it's harder for us to then go out on a date with you because you got to take care of your kids first. Your kids are always going to come first. So no matter what I do, I'm always going to be second or third. She's got to take care of that. And I understand that as somebody who does have a kid, but still, yet, as a guy, especially if you don't have a kid, coming into something like that, why? When I can fly to Thailand or find somebody without one, or the Philippines, or Latvia, where all these beautiful women are basically snatching guys off the street, especially ones that look like me. Why would I want that work? Why would I want that uphill challenge? And then now all the years of all the dudes that she's been with, and no guy almost ever as a bad boy formally treats the vajayjay beautifully. They don't go, oh my God, look at the pretty vagina. Mm, so nice. No, you're up in there like, yeah, son. Mm, put on mm. So now you, as the last guy or the next guy or Mr. Right Now, if you're Mr. Right Now, it doesn't matter. Go in there, beat it up like a wild man. But if you're the one who's trying to actually be with her, now all of those things that she's had done, there's going to be things now that she knows she doesn't like. I don't want it in the A. Maybe you want to do that. But she's like, no, it hurts. So and so did that to me. I don't know. So now you're supposed to be my forever person. And I'm not, for me personally, I'm not really big into that. But let's say I was. Let's say I just wanted to put a can't because of some other guy. Ruined it for me. Maybe this guy was wider than I am. Now she's like, well, this is good. But inside, she's saying, yeah, you don't fill me up like that guy did because she's got something to compare. But then a weird thing has happened if she's been with a lot of guys because then she just doesn't, as long as you get her off, she's pretty much good. But that intermediary between good girl to prosty or hoe, she's going to compare. So now I'm fighting ghosts and demons I don't know anything about, but she knows. And if she's like my actual girl, oh, she's going to let you know this is what it is, which is good, but it's also bad. Why? Because now in my head as a guy, I know what he did was good, this guy did was bad, blah, 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 blah. And as a male, that never leaves us. So I'm telling you right now, ladies, do we males like to be lied to? This depends. If we ask about your body count, just tell the truth. This may work out for you or it may not. But if we don't ask, don't tell us. Don't compare us. If you really like the guy, tell him where you want him to work harder or he can do better. But do not say, well, Adam used to do me like this. Rick used to do me on the railroad tracks. James used to take me on top of his car. These different encounters should be private and they really shouldn't matter, but they do. So keep that private. Make your person feel special. But if you're out there living wild and feral, as many females are, not all women, a lot of young girls are feral and they don't even realize it. I was feral as a young male. I didn't realize it. Body counts matter, but they should not be the only deciding factor. Like I said, if it was a girl that I was just going to get down with, I don't care if she was with a one or I've been with some who've been with zero, and I've been with some that's been with 40, 50, or 100. Didn't matter when I was just trying to take care of that business. But the ones I did get serious with, it was a mental factor. And most guys will admit, well, let me say this correctly. Most guys won't admit that it is a factor to them. They're not going to, it's if they want the person, it's not going to stop them, but it is a ghost that will never leave them. So if she has low discernment and she's letting multiple guys run through her, we don't look at you as sacred and prized. You're not gonna be on top of this pedestal. And maybe that's a good thing in some ways. But see, understand this, ladies, like we don't need you. Like a lot of girls try to justify and say, well, we can do anything guys can do. True, for the most part. Um, we should be able to go out and do that, and no one's stopping you. We shouldn't be looked at as with that stigma. Well, that's individual, and if the shoe fits, it fits. If you're doing things that looks like the definition of that is a hoe, you're a hoe, male or female. Well, um, it doesn't hurt me, it doesn't do anything. Okay, then that's your perception, and that's fine. That is the truth. That is your truth. Other people may judge it better or worse, but it's your truth. Rock on. Play on, bish. But don't expect all guys, especially good guys, to look at you as a prize because we don't need you to have experience. Who are you? Who are you trying to get experience for? Do you really think that like your final guy? Because most girls, they generally want to have a main guy. They want to get married. They want the family, whatever else. Not all. Definitely not all. So if your main goal is to be like, hey, husband, I sucked 20 dicks and I had 40 different partners. I'm ready for you. He's like, good God, do you have any STDs? How many kids? And some vajages are loose, some are tight, some are in between. It's whatever. But these are all the factors you're going to be thinking about. And then for what? Him to find out you slept with some of his friends or his enemies. That's going to just play on his mind because that's how our minds work. And anytime you do something and it pops up, or if he's getting ready to eat the vajayjay, it's going to pop up. Damn, there's like 40 dicks in that. I'm not eating that. Nope. Mm-mm. And you can say, yeah, that's a boy's way of looking at it. And to some degree, you are correct. But in some degrees, it's also a fact that that is to that particular person nasty, low discernment, not special, not prized, not sacred, not a beautiful temple. Just not. To some guys, it don't matter. They don't care at all. Whatever. Those were before me. I'm here now. And that's true. But that's not every guy. So it depends on the type of guy you get. But understand this. If you want to be valued, then have value. Anything that's easy to get, like, and here's the thing too. how do you expect him to really be like wanting to do new things with you if you've done all the things with other guys? Now, maybe that doesn't matter to you girls. A lot of girls, you guys like to go places. Let's go places. Let's go shopping. And that is new. Or you've been to the same restaurant with your exes and 20 other dicks, and now you want to take me there. And that's new. I want to do new things. Well, we want to do new things. Our biggest thing is physical. I want to touch you, eat you, lick you, spank you, do all the things. But you've done all of them. So there's literally nothing new we can do there. You've done all the things. Once again, but it depends on the type of mind state. As a playboy back in the day, I didn't care. But somebody who, with their special person, yeah, would like to be able to do new things. But it's all been covered. And now, because of some other guy, there's things I can do, cannot do. That's not fair. It sucks. It makes me have less appreciation, less respect, less desire, because there's nothing new here. And guys like to do new things. We like new challenges. We like to conquer the things that other guys couldn't. So if you've been with like an enemy of mine or this guy and whatever else, and they got to do everything, what's left for me to do? Now I understand a lot of girls like, well, you could still marry that person, and if they're worthy of getting married to, if they have the mindset to be a wife. But once again, if you've been with so many people that you can't really bond effectively, I have to now deal with all the bad characteristics, habits, backtalk, her being in her masculine. You think that's fun for a guy? On a daily basis, I have to fight the world, and I have to fight all these things with somebody. This is why guys do not end up being with older women. Excuse me, older girls or ladies. A woman who's been through all this bad stuff. Okay, let me say it like this: a female's been through all this bad stuff and now has become a woman. And you can be a woman at 17 years old or 18, or because it's the mind state. I'm not going to let people run through me. Or yeah, I was dumb. It did happen. I'm grown now and I get it. That's the transition. So to my beautiful women out there who've got it right out of the gate, love you guys. To the ones who have gone through their BS and are now women, love you. So this is primarily just for understanding for females in general. I'm going to say the things that other guys won't say. A lot of guys, or they say things in a crude way. Like what is that? I can't think of the one show with the guys who are on there hypocrites. Anyway, there's a lot of talk shows out there and podcasts, and a lot of them say derogatory or they put females down, and they're short with it. That's no, that's inappropriate and childish. Those are adult sized boys, and once again, I don't care if they're wealthy or have a bigger platform than me. Um, oh, what is it? Oh, fresh and fit, you know. And then yet they go around and get caught doing stupid stuff and childish boy behaviors. Some of their stuff is good. Um, the people on their show, a lot of them are a lot of females with mental health issues and delusion. Those females do not represent a majority of females out there who are real women. They don't. But then again, if they had smart ones on there, which they plug in one or two here and there, then they wouldn't have their show. So do you see the difference between this entertainment education and people out there just doing it for the clicks and to make females look bad? At first my girl, she was like, "Well, you're just shitting on females and you're no, because what? I'm trying to show you that there are other ways to live your life that can be better for you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. Sounds like you didn't have a father around. Sounds like you don't understand the male mind. Sounds like you don't understand how to value yourself. You think you do, and you do to your degree, but you need a broader perspective on it. Somebody who was abused, what is it? It's called Stockholm syndrome. You know what Stockholm syndrome is? That's when your abuser has manipulated you since you were a young person, you've and or whenever it was, and you now identify as being that type. Just like if you raise some girl to be your esse slave, or she was never treated right or valued right, she continues to believe that she's just this public servant for males. And that's a sad thing. It's a shame. It's a atrocity. Nobody should be anybody's should be made to feel like that or be that unless that's what you choose to on your own free will and accord as a healthy person, making a choice to participate in something, or you're doing it for money and you are adult. So at the end of the day, guys, does body count matter? Yes and no. You should have respect for yourself to not share all of those things I just talked about with just anybody. At the end of the day, are we also animals and we give in to urges and whatever else? Yes, because that's also part of our chemistry and our biology. And no, it shouldn't be something that prevents you from being with somebody if that person is your person. But we have to look at all of those things. If I say yes and I say no, and it's both, at the end of the day, the lowest common denominator is going to bring that down to a yes. So, does body count matter? Yes, it absolutely does. It shows a person where your mind state is at. But once again, let's use something else. So, if we're talking about body count, that means the past and hurt, damage, baby daddies, STDs, all these things, right? Your pH even throws your pH off. Y'all ladies know what I'm talking about. Y'all don't think I knew about that, did you? Yeah, I know about that. I know a lot of things. I was raised by women, all right? I was a woman connoisseur, all right? So if your past is like, say, we go to a bank, try to get a loan from the bank with shitty credit. Your shitty choices in males, adult sized boys, is like having collections, charge offs, and other things like that on your credit profile. Go to a bank meaning a good man, and try to get a loan or try to be with them for marriage, right? Let's use those symbolisms. Ah, yeah, no, denied. And then what happens is that girl or young lady or whatever else is wondering why the good guys don't want her, why she's single, why guys hump and keep dumping her. Because I'm giving you guys the golden understanding. No, not even understanding, overstanding. If you continue to not be choosy with the males, having one night stands and all those other things, and I'm guilty of all those things. So I can't even tell you not to do it, and you can't. I'm gonna tell you, shouldn't try to minimize. I can't tell you you can't. I'm not your father, but some of y'all need to have a father figure and somebody's going to tell you the truth. See, I'm not one of these guys who's trying to get into your pants. Not currently. Now, in the old days, I wouldn't have said half of this stuff. No, that's not necessarily true. I did instruct a lot of females, which they didn't understand because I was still tearing those panties off, but I was trying to Teach them how to be better women at the same time. I guess that's kind of an oxymoron, or I don't know. You know, whatever. But if you go to a bank is going to tell you if you want something valuable like this loan, you have to be worthy. So if you have a crappy past, guys run through you. You can't bond that good. You've got kids. You're bringing him in. You got expenses. Great. You have good what? Booty videos on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram where you're OF. So you've got high sexual value. Guess what he's only going to want you for when you're shaking that thing, showing your boobs and whatever else on the internet, you're advertising your sexual ability. You've been with so many dudes now, you're like, yeah, I can make him nut in 3 minutes. I can give him the double twisted. I can do the Then that's all he's going to think that you're worth. He's going to put you into the whole category. How you talk, how you walk, how you let him approach you, what you ask from him, all then sounds transitional. So he's going to transact with you on what? Your greatest currency, sex. If you have value and you don't let him get to you so quick and you make him wait for a good amount of time, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it is, he's going to know that you are a woman and you value yourself. And you not every guy can get. So then if you have a higher body count, but you've made them wait, you've investigated them mentally, physically, socially, financially, would he make a good father? Would he be around? Some of you guys aren't even asking those questions, but he's already in your guts, busting nuts in your guts, and you don't even know what his thoughts are on kids or any of that. You haven't even talked about any of that stuff. But you're giving him what many consider to be the best part and aspect of you. And why do we think that as guys? What do most girls shake and show every day with their pictures? Ass and titties, ass and titties. Shake, shake, shake. So what else? So we're supposed to just what magically believe that like you have a great mind and you're a great friend and you'd make a great mom because you're shaking your ass like that? No, we're visual creatures, and a lot of you know this. You see us staring at you. Why? Because we're visual. We are attracted to visual things. We like nice looking cars, nice looking women, and we like adventure. We're not complicated creatures. Pretty simple. We do have layered emotional structures, but because of society, those are pushed into a little box and put on a shelf. So if y'all aren't ready for the real raw truth, then yeah, this channel ain't gonna be for you. Once again, you're grown, you can do whatever you want to do. You can agree or disagree, it doesn't matter to me. I'm still gonna take care of me, mine, my girl, hers, ours. But I want you guys to know the truth and to live a little bit better of a life. If he's a good guy, he's gonna wait, he's gonna value you. If you've been hurt and damaged in your past, tell him you've been hurt and damaged in your past. If you talk to him and get to know that he's worthy to hear that, because do you know what most guys think when a girl tells a guy, "Yeah, I've been abused, and guys ran through me and whatever." All we're hearing is okay. If he's a bad guy, all he's hearing is, "So you're stupid." Okay, I can smash you. I can get you, no problem. And then I'm gonna do the same thing, catch and release, just like a fisherman. Zip, gotcha. But a good guy is going to hear those things and go, man, I can probably fix her. But guys, that's where you fail. Do not try to fix her. She can only fix herself, and she'll fix herself if she sees that you are a strong leader, man with boundaries. Otherwise, you're going to be a simp, a pushover, and she's going to ignore you. And if you are a simp and a pushover, then you need to learn how to be a man and then find the right female or woman. So that's it for this video. my TikTok, I've covered a lot of stuff. I'm gonna bring a lot of those videos over to this channel. So when you guys watch, you may hear me say TikTok, whatever else, that's all it is. Um, no matter what it is that you ladies and you ladies understand this, ladies, I know a lot of what you guys go through. I was there as my mom, my sister, and cousins and all that. I've seen it. I used to hate and think all men were trash, and I wanted to be the best version of males out there. And I've done a pretty good job, but I'm not perfect. We all hurt each other, and this is the part that sucks. But you don't have to be typecast and stay in that hurt. You don't have to continue to be abused, but you do need to live in the real world. Girls think men have it easy, men think girls have it easy, or women. We all have it hard. It's just different. Some things would be easy for us to go through as men, and some things would be easy for you to go through as women. But pain, nonetheless, is still pain. At the end of the day, do your best for you and yours. Protect yourself. Try not to let people abuse you or use you or lie to you. It is better to be alone and take care of yourself, you know, flicking the bean or whatever you got to do, than to be with somebody just to have a physical body in your life. Getting your guts beat out, not a bad thing. But when you're just being used and you don't have the mental fortitude or discernment to see that just being used for anything is a mental health issue, you're allowing yourself to feel some type of worth by the interaction. I feel alive. I'm in it. I'm doing something. I've got a naughty life. I've got multiple men. They give me things. I'm not saying you have to live a cherished temple, high pedestal life. That's not what we're here to do. That's not what this experience is about. But we all should be seeking the next better level. But I also digress. In this story, there's going to be people who are supposed to be used. Why would I say that? Some people enjoy it, but it's the people who've been through so much that they don't even realize they've been conditioned. Those are the people who need to wake up. And I hope that everybody heals and gets through all of their pain the best way they can. And I hope that your tomorrow is better and a little brighter. And if this helps you, hey, share the video, tag, like, subscribe, whatever else. If not, and this angers or bothers you, heal that part of you first. And if you've watched it all the way to the end, then you're the reason why tomorrow will be better for you and for yours. This knowledge is not to, it has no other purpose but to show you another path in the forest that maybe you didn't see. Whatever path you take is yours. and I wish you well on it. Each one of us is a puzzle piece, and we're building tomorrow. But if we don't take a look at what we're building, what will tomorrow be? I guess we'll see. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening. Bad Wolf's out.